Hey there, YouTube. It's Chris from Ontario Lines N Scale. And this past weekend, I went over to the Big E for the Amherst train show for the first time. The big Springfield train show, whatever you want to call it. And it was an experience. Started off the weekend by having my train home canceled on Thursday because of the big Snowmageddon that happened this weekend. And didn't get home until Tuesday morning, about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. That was fun. I took the Amtrak Lakeshore Limited out, and coming back, we were stuck in Albany for about an extra hour, waiting for the section from New York City to come up so we could put both trains together and continue our trip west. First time riding Amtrak too, but all in all, it wasn't so bad. I'd definitely do it again. But so I took the train down Friday, and I stayed in a hotel with a buddy of mine. We split the room and stayed at the Sheraton. That was cool. Took the shuttle over Saturday morning. Actually, I didn't go through the Better Living Center first. I went to one of the other buildings to meet up with a friend. I sold him some diesel locomotives, so I wanted to get that cash so I could go spend it. So I actually kind of got in earlier, but I had the passes already, and it was no big deal. But right before I left for the show, I had some money already. So one of these popped up. This is a Micro Ace Japanese 0660 articulated locomotive. I've been looking for another one of these. I bought one over the summer, and I converted it to an American style locomotive. I put a coupler and modified the pilot a little bit, and I took this tender and replaced it with a Bachmann tender, and I lettered it for the Buffalo and Susquehanna. In the 1890s, they did have a 0660, but it was a different style. But in my version, this is what they used for pusher engines, and maybe running mine runs every once in a while. So one of these popped back up. They usually go anywhere from $300 to $400 on eBay, but I found one from a vendor here in the U.S. Got it for about $210, which is decent price for this locomotive. So spent a little money early before I went to Amherst. Had to get the juices flowing. So one of the main things I really wanted to buy at the show, that I've been looking forward to do a project layout. Yep, that's right. It's a Kato. So, as anybody knows, these things have gone exponentially up in price lately, especially with the tariffs and everything. But as you can see, I actually got a decent deal on this. Got it for it was listed for $290, but I paid cash and I got it for $240 or $285. I'm sorry, $285, and I think that's a pretty good deal for this. This is going to be used on my English engine shed layout. Been looking for a turntable. Didn't really want to put the Pico one together. So that was the big purchase for the weekend, and what I really was hoping to come across. I walked over to Yankee Dabbler. They were the only other vendor that had one, and they were asking $378. So I hoofed it back to the Mallory building and bought that, knowing the price of it already. What else did I get? We'll go with these here. These are the Otter Valley trash cars. Some of you may know, I worked at a landfill here in Niagara Falls, New York, and we unloaded some cars like this. Now, they didn't have the road number or road name that I was looking for. I was looking for Transload America, but they did have some data-only cars. So I'm going to letter this one for the TLAX, Transload America. And I thought I had two of them, but turns out one had road name on it, but that's easy enough to fix. And I bought a couple trash loads that they make for them. They're pretty nice. So we'll get them lettered up for the TLAX and put them into service. One of the other ideas I've had lately, I joined a HO scale train club. So I've been looking for some equipment to run on that layout. I have some. I have a friend built me a Alco RS3M Penn Central, one that ran on the whole jack line here that I live on. And I've also got the idea to do some of my Ontario line stuff in HO scale. Unfortunately, I didn't find any locomotives that would have let me do that. But I did find this U33, U30C. I did some N scale C30-7s. I was hoping to find some C30-7s. I found one, but it was kind of janky for what they were asking for. It had horn hook couplers and the looked like somebody tried gluing on the handrails and what, and I wasn't paying $75 for that. But I found this one instead. I'll probably take off the N and W. I'll keep the road number probably. Paint a white steel stripe on it and letter it for the New York Central. I did 2 Cato C30-7s like that. So, and this one's got a, KD style couplers on it. So that was a plus. This was the only HO scale thing I bought. I went through almost every vendor that had used Atlas engines, and this was the closest one I could find other than that janky one. But got a decent deal on it from Resource Rails, $75. So that was that. And what else did I get? I guess I'll stay with stuff that was in the better living center. Stopped over at Bespoke Rail. Got this nice New York Central System Cup Flexi Van service. That was nice. And it came with some couple stickers and a magnet. They make some really nice stuff. I was hoping for the black New York Central one with the red New York Central Herald on it, but they were out of them. So I got this one instead. And also, while I was in the Better Living Center, I came across this fella. Makes the LaRose Hat Company. He does a really nice job making these era authentic railroad hats. There are a lot of people walking around with these by the end of the show. They're made from original designs and use era appropriate materials, and they're all made by hand by this guy. So if you're looking for a real nice railroad engineer's hat or conductor's hat or anything, check out this guy. This guy. He got a website? I don't know. But he also has this nice book, tells you a little bit about the hats and the fabric and how he does it. Pretty cool. Fits real nice too. He had some there. He'll measure your head. If you got a fat head like me, you get a big hat. So check him out. And up next we got I bought some 3D printed farm equipment from Ig Makes. The missus was there like she was at Altoona. Bought a couple of 4020s. I know I'm a red guy, but these things are pretty ubiquitous. Paint these up. Looks like one wheel broke off, but that's easy enough to fix. Then I got a couple, I think I got another plow and a drag to go with it. Stay in the 3D printed stuff here. Stop by Whistle Stop. 3D printed. He sponsors the Iron City photo contest. I bought this grain elevator set from him. Got a decent deal on it just because this little I-beam was broke off here. So I was just looking for a set of elevators like this for the home layout to go with the flour mill, because the one in Lockport had a flour mill building, and they had their own concrete silo set adjacent to the building. But he said for the $30, he give me the two plus the head house. So I think I'm going to take one set in the head house and build a T-track module out of them. So that was $30. That's not a bad deal. He had a lot of stuff there. And then the last 3D printed stuff I got was from Kevin Tully at Southern Tier Grain Modelers. I bought some elevator parts. I got what's this thing called? I got the bucket head and then the elevator stanchions. So these will probably be parts for that I put stuff together. And I was talking with him about the underground unloading pit that he just came out with an HO scale. He's going to do it in N scale, and I think I'm going to get some of them for building the coaling elevator that they had at Batavia. I think that's a neat model. I could probably try to figure out how to put a picture of it in here at some point. So, yep. And he had other N scale stuff too, so if you need to model some grain stuff or steel mill stuff, check him out, even if you're an N scale. Because he says he puts stuff out there, but N scalers say they want it, but then they don't buy it. But it's not that expensive. Each bag of these was like $5 or so. That's not bad at all. So check out Kevin Tully's stuff. It's pretty good. And I went over to Chris Costello's booth at JL Innovative. Bought a crane kit with a magnet. This will be for a scrapyard that I put somewhere at some point at some time. I didn't even know he was still making these. I'm glad he is. And then I stopped by the Home Shops booth. Got the last of the Appalachian Lines box cars. I have a V&O and I think I have an Allegheny Midland one. I don't know if he did an Allegheny Midland one, but oh no, I bought Ohio Southern and the Virginia and Ohio, but this is a Virginia Midland. This was another of the Appalachian Lines, so got one of these from him. He had a few of these for sale. And Sunday I went back to the show for a couple hours before the snow got real bad. Picked up this Z-Scale B unit from Displays Hobbies. $65. It was 40% off, so figured out what the hell. Didn't find anything else at the show really on Sunday. A lot of vendors had packed up. A lot of layouts left, so it's understandable. There wasn't too much left on my list anyways at that point. I got pretty much everything I wanted on Saturday. And then we're almost getting to the end here. Bought a couple of laser wood kits from Trademaster Detail Craftsman kits. Bought a little coal bunker. The cold storage here in town had one of these. Not only did they, provide cold storage services, they also sold coal at some point too. A buddy of mine bought the old dump truck they used to have. He was going to restore it, but he ended up selling it. And it still had all the lettering for the cold storage and everything on it. So I bought one. Thought I might put it out back behind the cold storage on the big layout at some point. And I also bought this as a flagman and lantern stand. I guess they use these to put flags and lanterns and stuff on the cabooses or store their lanterns. Thought it was neat. something different that you don't see in a lot of layouts. Because I have a lot of cabooses, so if some point at somewhere a layout or diorama or T-track model will have a caboose track that I could put that on. So that's pretty cool. And then the only other thing I got to show is a couple Blueford Chops Conrail cabooses. A friend of my buddy Bob Kleiman, he was looking for some. He had a little list of stuff that be on the lookout for. I found these on the last day. These are Blueford Chops bay window cabooses. Both Conrail. One's blue, and the other one is red. I don't know the story on the red one, but apparently Conrail had a red bay window caboose for some reason. Pretty nice, pretty nice. So I got these for essentially $25 a piece, which I think is a pretty decent deal for them. So all in all, despite being stuck in Amherst for an extra day at the hotel, had a good time at the show. Saw a lot of people. Did the ARC-SRCA meet and greet with fellow freelance modelers. Met up with Dennis Colucci, N-Scale Train Boy, Paul Stamp from Paul Stamp's Finger Lakes, Heath from Humanity Junction, and a few other people. We had a sticker exchange. That was pretty cool. So now I got a whole bunch of stickers on my T-Track rollout box. That collection is coming along good. That was a real good time, meeting all them guys and talking to them. What else did we do? Went to the steaming tender. Me and some guys from the Iron City Facebook page got together for dinner. I had an awesome dinner. Highly recommend going there. The food was amazing. Had a best ribeye I ever had and best cheesecake I ever had there. And the station itself was beautiful. It was an old Boston and Albany station, and we saw a couple trains while we were there. That was nice. And then that was pretty much it. Saw some YouTube people there, and Murray from Impractical Joker stayed at the same hotel he was. You know, I don't know if I'll do Amherst every year, but I don't think I'll go next year. Save some money for L2 and N-Scale weekend. Probably go every other year. I think I could do that. Or I might go every year. Who knows? We'll play it by ear. So, things we got coming up next. Buffalo Central T-Track is going to the Buffalo Mile Railroad Club open house this weekend. Taking the T-Track layout up there. And then the end of February, I am going to the Rochester RPM. Going to be my first RPM. Going to take some of my freelance stuff, some of my modern paint scheme, New York Central stuff, some of my kit bash steam locomotives, and along with my T-Track modules to put in the T-Track layout. That's coming up at the end of February, so after this open house this weekend, I gotta get working on the T-Track modules. So I think that's everything, guys. If you've never been out to the Amherst show, 10 out of 10 recommend. Hopefully you don't get as much snow like we got this past weekend, but and you're able to enjoy the whole weekend of the show. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. Try to put that picture in where I said it was. I haven't done that yet with editing, so we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we'll see you on down the line. Later.